10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me. I think I remember you say sometimes it lasts in love and sometimes it hurts instead.
You're going to make us have to retire singing intros. You keep picking this bullshit, man.
Can you guys please give a list of songs that you would like us to sing that we can start picking from? No matter what genre, we will start singing your song.
Y'all wasn't feeling that?
Instead of Tim's songs. Well, it's better than the last one.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the No Chaser Show. I'm Tim Chantarangsu.
I'm Ricky Shucks.
I'm Nikki Blades.
Maybe just No Chaser. Welcome back to No
Chaser. Okay, yeah, we'll do that from now on. Okay, you know what? You know what's funny is Adele, I used to think it was chasing penguins. I was like, should I give up or should I just keep chasing penguins? And I was explaining to somebody one day because we were talking about how dope Adele is. And I was like, yeah, nah, that's cool. Because like, you know, why would I chase something that isn't in front of me? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, of course. Penguins aren't just penguins ain't gonna be on the street. Why am I chasing something that's just in my head that's not realistic? And they were like, pavements or penguins? I was like, what? Are you really? Pavements?
I got a better question. That was Adele?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
But why would you
Has she
think
been around that long?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah.
What?
But wait. Why would you think penguins?
I heard penguins and I was justifying it in my brain. I was like, yeah, should I just,
that makes sense.
Just keep chasing penguins?
You know, something mythical that doesn't exist. I'm just out here chasing penguins around.
Just killed off penguins.
I wouldn't be chasing penguins, but then actually chasing penguins makes more sense than chasing pavements.
Chasing pavements is what you're talking about.
Think.
It makes sense.
Can you chase a
How
waterfall?
can you catch it? You can't catch the pavement.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
I guess you can't chase waterfalls.
Can you chase a waterfall?
You can go after.
That's the same concept.
I think Rick proved his point.
I'm going to Google just to make sure I'm not like not believing y'all. I'm just having a hard time taking it in. You don't mind me.
You did that at McDonald's too. So we were on our way to get food.
Yeah.
Rick got stung by a bee.
Yo,
I did.
Crazy. And then they were talking about bitten. and like the proper use of the term, like the past tense term of bite.
Well, since
right?
I end up wrong in this, let me just say it shouldn't have been bit or bitten or bite at all because it was a sting and a stung.
Right.
So he was wrong first.
Okay. So I thought Rick chuckled. I was like, oh yeah, you got bitten, but that's crazy. He was like, and he chuckled. And I thought he was chuckling because I said bitten when in my head instead of stung.
Yes.
And Rick was laughing because I didn't say stung. And in my head, I thought he was laughing because no one ever says the proper tense of that where they'd be like, oh yeah, I just got bit by something. When it should be I just got bitten. Also, no one ever says the correct like when they're like, it should be have you eaten today, but it's everyone says have you ate. And I honestly feel like I'm the only person who says eaten.
So since that was happening, Rick pulls out his phone and looks up the proper tense and like the proper way to
Past
say.
tense of bite is bit.
Yeah.
But the past tense participle.
Yeah, past participle. Yeah.
Past participle is bitten.
Yeah.
Depending on how you use it.
Okay.
Because it is also bit, but in certain circumstances. Like I bit my lip.
Yeah, yeah. Now that's
like
totally,
that.
but it's, you know, whenever there's the have been shit, have you eaten? Yeah. I have bitten a McRib in my day.
So I just said all of that because he pulled out his phone to fact check us. And your conclusion?
Is not Adele. It is another white lady. Her name is Adele or something like that.
That is a.
But that wasn't fact checking. That was just calming myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Me and Rick do a lot of fact checking in conversations, and here's what's so funny, dog. When we were at McDonald's, right after the bit conversation, you responded to another statement like right after that in a way where I was like, he sounds distracted. I'm like, I think he's about to look it up.
Oh yeah, because and again, it's not even fact checking. It is fact checking, but not like, you were wrong.
Right.
It's like I want to make sure I'm right.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to just take people's word.
Right.
Yeah.
No, we definitely do a lot of that. Me and Chia are always doing that. Like, you sure about that? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. You know?
You fucking idiot.
And when Rick went like this to show Tim, he's like, see? And then Tim went, that part right there. I'm talking about that part. And then he's like,
I still didn't see that part that he was talking about because it was in a different language. Like it was, bitching was in there, but the sample sentence, I think you just made that shit up. It wasn't there.
Oh no, it was.
It was? Fuck,
Yeah.
I did not see it at all. But yes, he was right.
Maybe I was giving context.
anyways,
Anyways. Nikki Blaze, do you when you are unsure, are you a Googling ass person?
Oh, yes. And I ask Google the way that it's in my head, which is really messed up and scrambled in there. So my sentences in my Google search are all fucked up. Like not even spelt correctly, not even close. But Google gets me. My Google understands my intention.
Nikki's Google looks like, have you ever tried when you go and when
penguin? And then it's like, oh, you were trying to figure out where penguins are from.
Like Adele.
Yes. Yes.
Man.
But it really is. Every morning, there's an opportunity to Google something for my job.
So every morning, I don't know some shit.
Exactly. And I have just leaned into the fact that I don't know a lot of things. It's okay. So I ask my Google.
There's a lot of things to know.
There's a lot of things.
Why not look it up to be sure?
I look it up, and every once in a while, I figured out the feature to talk to text on my MacBook. So just hit the little thing, hit it twice, and I talk to it. Well, they haven't figured out what I'm trying to say, but Google knows. So my questions are very random on there.
You know what's an interesting thing to realize? You don't know how to explain certain things.
Yeah.
So Tway, my girlfriend, for you who don't know, she was born in Vietnam. There's a lot that she missed in terms of language. I use a lot of words sometimes. Sometimes I'll say some shit, it's a bigger word, and she'll be like, what does that mean? And I'm like, it's kind of hard to explain. It's like, hold on.
Yeah.
I'll have to Google a word that I know what it is.
Yeah.
I used it correctly.
Yeah.
But I'm like, shit, I don't know how to explain this to someone.
I'm so bad at explaining things sometimes. Halfway through explaining it, I'm like, wait, do I know what this means? And then I gotta look it up.
There's nothing worse than feeling confident than losing that confidence mid-sentence. You're just trying to articulate it and you're like, oh, I am fucking wrong. Oh, that's the worst. There's a difference between not being sure and then just realizing you're wrong.
Oh, God.
And it's like, do I admit that I'm wrong? It depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Do I admit that I'm wrong, or do I have to fight even harder now to convince you that I'm right?
I used to just trail off and just not finish it. Now I have to admit that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Or it will fucking bug me all day. Ugh.
I definitely do a lot of explaining, and then the response from the other person is like, what? what do you say? Wait, what? And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna Google it. Let's Google it.
Or and then translating text messages. Does it translating someone's intention that via text message when they don't know how to explain something. Do you guys ever read things out of context with text messages?
Yeah, I just ask.
You just
Before I get mad, because I'll get mad.
Yeah, so I've started noticing there's like particularly one friend, and she's the worst. Like I thought I was bad at explaining something. Nah, she's worse than I am, and she gets angry because she can't figure out how to explain what she's thinking.
Funny.
So then at some point in a conversation, I'm like, I'm just gonna call you because now we're both upset. And then we get on the phone and we both were completely wrong.
Completely wrong.
You know when I'm getting frustrated in a text conversation, when I'm like, when you get a minute voicemail after that. No, look. Here's what I'm saying. You know, hear me. All right. Well, speaking of someone to explain things we don't necessarily know things about.
That's better.
You know, it'd be, you know, when this opportunity to have this person on the podcast came up, I was like, oh, this could be interesting because, you know, the fan base is pretty grown. You know what I'm saying? We got grown ass people that listen to us, and a lot of people actually want to know about business, how to start a business, how to maintain, how to get shit going. You know what I'm saying? So this dude right here, I met him when I was shooting some stuff at ADD. He has a big hand. Oh, All Def Digital, if y'all don't know. He has a big hand in the goings-ons of All Def Digital and also a bunch of other companies and a bunch of other shit, all right? Make some noise for this dude. Oh my goodness. And we got a special treat. Also working with All Def Digital. We got Cynthia Luciette coming in, but make some noise afterwards because we only got 4 seats in here. But first, for the first half, make some noise for Cedric Rogers.
Yay!
What's good,
What up?
man?
Yeah.
Appreciate you putting the most beautiful person in the room. I appreciate that.
Oh, next to Rick? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you pointed the wrong way, brother. I'm over here.
We good. How y'all doing?
Good, bro. How are you? Maybe get a little closer to that mic. Yeah. For she should be. Yeah, it should be.
there?
That's good. That's good. Say something.
Mic check.
Good.
All right, cool, man. Well, first of all, thanks for stopping by, popping in. For those who might not be familiar, you want to let us know who you are?
Sure. Yeah, let me give you a quick update. Yeah, like you said, my name is Cedric Rogers. Funny enough, I'm originally from Houston, Texas. Born and raised.
H-Town.
H-Town, baby.
Oh, it's a quick side note. Some of the best wings I've ever had were at a strip club in Houston.
Got some of the best strip clubs in the country. Next to the other place I moved to, Atlanta, Georgia. But yeah, I grew up Houston, wound up going to college at Historically Black College, North Carolina A&T, major in engineering. And I spent the majority of my career at Apple. That's where I started. As a system engineer, moved my way up and really got into the app development. And then so after I went and got my MBA, some other things like that, I left to start doing startup companies, as you mentioned. The first one I did actually brought me to the Bay Area. I went to create this, actually it was a fashion startup. So it's fashion and style.
Oh, word.
For men's fashion. So it was called Look Live. And we received money through it's called Y Combinator. It's like super exclusive. It's in the Bay Area. You get in, they kind of put you through this whole program. So that's when I really learned kind of the startup world, because it's a little different than just regular business, right?
Right.
The way it takes to build something from nothing is difficult, right? So I started picking up the ropes there. I left that venture and came to LA. And when I came to LA, I started being what they call entrepreneur in residence. So I was actually working for the venture capitalist, learning the other side of the table, which is really what you want to know, right? How the money moves, how it invests. And then that's when I left in 2018 to create my new company that is now. It's called Culture Genesis. We started by creating an app. My co-founder and I, his name is Sean Newsom. We're both engineers. He actually used to work at Vivo and then Disney Plus. So he's dope too. So we're two dope, I say, engineers, right? Got together. And we wanted to build a company that really focused on the culture, but bringing in the technology. We wanted to sit at the intersection of culture and technology.
Okay.
And by doing so, we called the company Culture Genesis. We built an app that, Tim, I never got a chance to get you on it, but we had a bunch of creators. It was like a live trivia game show. I'm not done with it yet. I'm still resisting. It was a live trivia game show, and it had kind of feel like 106 in Park. Y'all remember when they used to have like Jay and Roxy and Free and all those different, Terrence J and all them on there. So we had that vibe where it's like you have two different hosts and you could select and all the questions about the culture. It was like, hip hop questions, current event stuff. And so we did that. And funny enough, All Def was, this was back 2019, early 2019. They reached out to us and was like, yo, we want to make something like that.
Okay.
And I was like, cool, let's talk. We can maybe work with y'all to do that. So that's what we started to do. But then, of course, as every month, some people out there may know, then All Def actually went out of business. And so we had already raised capital. We had already had some funding. So then All Def came to us and said, yo, would y'all be interested in buying All Def? So Culture Genesis, we acquired All Def.
You saved All Def Digital.
I did.
Wow.
We did. I don't want to take all credit at all.
Right.
But yeah, in November of 2019, we acquired it. And so I'll take a pause there to say that we do have regular venture capitalists. Like I told you, there's one here in LA called Mucker Capital, one in New York called BetaWorks. But then we also had some extra on our cap table that they were interested in. There's a syndicate of investors out of Atlanta, which includes T.I., Killer Mike, Jason Jeter, which is T.I.'s business partner, 2 Chainz, a lot of just different, hip hop artists and industry people out of Atlanta had invested in us. So of course they saw that there was a great opportunity to add the culture further to All Def. So Yeah, man. That's how I got here.
So this holiday season, I'm giving thanks to our friends at Manscaped. Now, do I tell my extended family that I have the Performance Package 4.0 from the global leaders in below-the-waist grooming?
Woo.
Not to mention the 4.0 trimmer to tame the bush and score brownie points with the in-laws. Gift yourself Manscaped because your in-laws care about your bush.
They
Yes,
sure
they do.
I mean, it makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Or you can give it to the man in your life, whoever needs it. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with 20% off plus free shipping by going to manscaped.com/nochaser. I'm saying that again. 20% off with free shipping by going to manscaped.com/nochaser. So you think your holiday spread is good?
I'm sorry.
Your
Wait.
holiday spread. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I think it is, but some people might not.
Well,
be prepared.
if it ain't, it's time to give thanks to Manscaped Performance Package 4.0, or as I like to call it, the perfect package for your package. You know what I'm saying? Now, inside you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer. That's my personal favorite.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that'd be getting crazy sometimes.
Yeah, my nose is wild. Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, my second personal favorite.
Okay.
because his balls are
My
wild.
balls is
Y'all
wild. The Crop Reviver Toner. It's a little spray, give you a little refresher down there.
Nice.
And they even got performance boxer briefs and a travel bag to hold all of your goodies. Think of it as a cornucopia for your balls.
Wow, look at y'all.
Now, I can't forget the Manscaped liquid formulas. They're like the pumpkin pie and the ice cream after Thanksgiving dinner. You can't live without it. Crop Preserver, like I said. Ball Deodorant, like I said. Crop Reviver, like I said. They got everything you need for the freshest balls.
And who don't like fresh balls?
I love fresh balls. Mine. So, like I said before, make sure you use manscaped.com/nochaser to get 20% off and free shipping. That's manscaped.com/nochaser. Be thankful this holiday season for the best gift of all from Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.
We're all entrepreneurs, right? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the most important thing that people forget about when you're trying to start a new business, you got to have a good website.
Yeah.
And not everybody knows how to build a good website, but that's why Squarespace is lit and easy to use. Squarespace empowers millions of dreamers, makers, and doers by providing them with the tools they need to bring their creative ideas to life. On Squarespace's dynamic all-in-one platform, customers can build a website, claim a domain, sell online, and market a brand. Our products combine cutting-edge design and world-class engineering, making it easier than ever to establish your online presence, which is very important in today's day and age.
I actually use Squarespace for my website.
Oh, shit. Well, damn. NikkiBlaze.com. Squarespace is perfect for people who are ready to make their ideas a reality and want those ideas to stand out. Their brand pillars are design, innovation, storytelling, entrepreneurialism, customer enablement. So that is everything you need to really build a successful website, okay? Squarespace tools are DIY in nature, meaning anyone can learn about, use, and or create the following without technical expertise, like e-commerce, domains, marketing tools, analytics, ease of use, and world-class design. Stuff like that is really important things you wouldn't normally get a chance to look at, like your analytics. Companies want to know about that stuff.
Yes,
you know
they
what I'm
do.
saying? Easy to set up an online store, whether you're just getting started or an established brand. Squarespace has a powerful e-commerce platform designed to help you and your business grow. Sell unlimited products and services online with no transaction fees and effortlessly manage your inventory, orders, and customers. You can sell products, gift cards, digital products, subscription products, and extensions.
Everybody needs those extensions.
So yes, you got to do it. Squarespace, turn your cool idea into a new website, showcase your work, blog or publish content. So many things you can do, and it's so easy. They got a world-class design, nothing to patch or upgrade ever, 24/7 award-winning customer support. There are so many different people using Squarespace, architects, fine artists, graphic designers, photographers, bars and pubs, restaurants, nutritionists, wellness coaches, financial services, coaches, gamers, everybody, all right? And just for y'all, I got a special treat. Go to squarespace.com/CODE for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code CODE to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. So wait, what is a, for those who don't know, what is a venture capitalist?
Yeah.
And by those, I mean me.
There's a lot of terms being thrown around right now that everybody's
you know
like, this
what?
sounds really cool.
I was about to
If
say
I
Google.
knew.
Yeah. I heard you talk about Google Earth.
Yeah.
That's a Google moment.
Yeah,
That's
we
a Google
were
moment.
setting all these reminders in our brains.
Like this. So ask him what is venture capital.
So remember when I said I left Apple and went and built that other company and I
Yes.
went through Y Combinator, right?
Mhm.
And that's when I started learning all this stuff, right? Because I didn't know either. It's because it's not regular business. Like I said, it's a little unique. And so a venture capitalist is basically an investor who is looking to only invest in fast growing companies, i.e. startups, right?
Okay.
What really, most startups are usually technology
Oh,
companies.
so they're looking for a coming up company so they can get in there and be a part of
Early.
it as they're popping up.
Yes.
Okay.
And so the whole name of the game in that business is like, I want to catch you early
Mm-hmm.
and I want to see you grow. And I want you to keep coming back to me every time you're at that point where you're like, I'm growing so fast, my revenue's coming in, but it's not enough, right? So I need more capital.
I see.
And that's what they take for your company, more equity.
Right.
So
Shark Tank.
and that's Shark Tank, i.e. Shark Tank. And so that's what that's the game of the game that they want. Now, if you're on my end of the table, right, as the entrepreneur or even y'all as creators, you want to be able to grow as fast as you can without taking that capital because you want to continue to own as much of your company as possible. And so that's just the back and forth of this game that you're in. But I did learn a lot about it because, like I said, went through Y Combinator and then I actually went and worked for a venture capitalist. So yeah, that's
I
it.
see. I see. Hold on a second. We are stopping.
Hey man, I don't want this thing like I got it all up in my mouth,
Hey,
bro.
that's what we do, dog. It's what we do.
Have you seen that meme when people on podcasts, excuse me. It's just- yes,
much.
it's okay. You just got to adjust it all the time.
Okay, all right.
Don't be afraid of it.
Well,
No one's gonna Photoshop no dicks in
I'm
you.
not
okay.
used to having.
Right. He's like, I can only imagine everybody.
Don't look at me.
You know,
Say that like I'm used to it.
I'm looking at you cool with it, like.
I'm over here.
But is that better? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I kind of talk low anyway too. So.
Well then, yeah.
Well, yeah, pull it close.
Well, shit, that's dope. That's dope. Okay. Oh, so then, in terms of all deaf,
Yeah.
right? So, okay, answer me this then, because
Sure.
this is always something I was curious about.
Sure.
How does a company like All Def, which
Mhm.
from the outside looking in, it looked like, oh, it's popping.
Yeah.
Videos are going great.
Yeah.
Everything looks like it's going good. How I feel like when news came out that like All Def is going under, it
Right.
was like a shock to people because it seems
Right.
like it's going well. Why does something like that happen?
That's a great question. I think it's actually one that, in business, but especially in technology, things change. When Russell Simmons originally founded, All Def, I think he was genius, actually. It was a genius move on his part because it was 2013, into 2012, 2013. He did on the heels of like stuff like Def Comedy Jam, right? So it's like that was heavily produced, but it's like, how do you bring that to the internet? So, with All Def, that was actually Def Jam 2.0. It was a very smart move.
Right.
And I think they were in total they raised about $13 million. So I'm gonna add some insult to injury to what you asked me.
Yeah.
So they raised about $13 million. So they had cash
Mhm.
over the period of time. But in the name of game of content, because y'all live it, it's like you gotta be able to efficiently create the content and you gotta monetize it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, from everything I know and saw from some of it, they weren't doing the best job of monetizing. And so you got to figure out what is the best model for you as either a creator or as a publisher. You got to figure that shit out and got to stay the course, right? And I think really, at All Def, there was leadership. They had two different types of leadership changes. You have to have smart people at the top. But I would say the best part of All Def, though, they had so many dope creators. Like, think about all the people so it wasn't on the creators' fault. They were doing their part. Just that the people in charge were not focused on taking that great creative energy and content and just really efficiently monetizing it. And so when you don't do that, you got bills to pay and you raise $13 million, which is dope. So, but it's like drugs, right? You can live on it for so long and then it stops.
So I had a question about that. You
Sure.
said like raise a certain amount of money. I know a lot
Yeah.
of companies or startups, they're like, we need to raise X amount of dollars in order to run our business. So
Yeah.
say that goal is met. how and when do they pay back this money? Like, how does that work?
Yes, these are some great questions. By the way.
We just because we don't know what the fuck is going on.
But it's just cool. I mean, but because Shark Tank, as Ricky said, is kind of the model, but Shark Tank even still is not the real deal. Like the real examples are Facebook, Airbnb,
Meta.
No,
You're so happy to correct
You did. You correct me on that.
He's correcting me on it.
So when you look at those companies right there, fast growing, and to your point, Nikki, you say, well, when do they? First of all, the real question is valuation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got to value the company from the moment you start. Is you're working on something so dope, you got to say, well, what is that valued at that moment?
Mm-hmm.
So you say, well, okay, I'm gonna value it at, I don't know, $1 million right out the bat.
Right.
So then you value it at $1 million, and then you tell the investors like, hey, if you give me $500,000, I'll give you equity in the company.
Mm-hmm.
And normally you want to give them, when you do these, what they call rounds of funding,
Right.
you want to keep it at like 20%. You don't want to give them any more than 20% each round.
Right,
Because
right.
if not, you're going to really dwindle down fast, right?
Real quick.
So you keep them at 20%, $500,000. Okay, so then it's like, I'll get 20% of the company at that point for that $500,000. So then what they say is, now you're valued at what? The million plus the $500,000. Now you're actually valued at $1.5 million. So they call that your post valuation, right? So now it's on you as a startup to now take that money and scale the business, right? And that's what happens all the time. People don't do always the best job of taking the money and scaling the business. So then they quickly come running back needing more money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to the investor to decide. It's like, do I still like and believe in you and your idea? Or I'm like, nah, I'm good. I gave that money. You didn't do nothing with it. I'm out.
I definitely learned that much from Shark Tank.
Yes. Right? So you want to be in a position where what happens is the guys who really kill it are the ones who like raise the money and then they are able to scale quickly, and then like going back to the investors, and investors asking, hey man, I want to put more in. I can tell you need to grow more. Let me give you some more money. And then at that point, you're like, well, do I really want your money? And if I do, I'll take it, but I'm going to give you only so much valuation for it. So I put it in my pocket. Now, one last thing I'll tell you, because this is a complicated thing, so I ain't trying to act like it's not.
Oh yeah, I zoned.
It is a lot. But what sometimes you'll see investors do, or excuse me, the entrepreneurs do, at each round, sometimes they take a little bit of the money and put it in their pocket. So that's how you start seeing dudes who are startup guys they start pulling out the Lambos and all this.
Right.
Like, how the hell they get Lambos that
Right.
fast, right? They're taking some of the valuation at that time and selling to investors. So like Snapchat did that, right? When them dudes, man, they got that money, you start seeing it go, right? And but that's the name of the game. And a lot of times people are doing this, they're real young. And sometimes they blow the money.
Yeah. So basically, if the it's not a loan.
Oh no!
So
They're taking
the equity. They're
ownership
buying the
of
equity.
They're buying.
Yeah, so it's
Yes.
never being paid
Yeah.
back. But once
I'm
it
sorry,
starts
I'm
being
sorry.
profit,
I'm sorry,
So
Nikki. That was your
when-
question. She said she got payback. I apologize.
But,
so payback doesn't really happen until two ways. They call it an exit, right?
Okay,
So
yeah,
the
that's what-
exit is either I sell the company, I go public. And when I go public, that means we're now going to the stock market and we're out
Right.
putting out there to the public to invest in the company. Now you have to deal with all that shit. But either way, that's when everyone starts to really get their money
So
back.
is that why a lot of investors love the startups, because they can put in at a certain rate, and when it goes up, doesn't their value go
Yes.
up? So
Yes.
I put money in at this price, and then as you grow, I'm growing essentially, and then when they sell, I get all that money.
Yes. So the way they say that, just so you all hear these terms, sometimes it's like, I want to like 10x my money. I want 100x my money. They're thinking this exponential growth.
Right.
And the only way right now to exponentially grow your money that everyone's seeing now, of course, is all the crypto and the NFTs. And that's a whole nother conversation. But that's another space where people like, they're seeing that fast growth. I mean, so that's why you always see like guys who are like in, maybe some businesses that are not so legit want to get in this space because they're like, yo, this is a one space I can see my money grow as fast as I can in those other spaces,
Man, I got some money invested in Impossible Meat because they're supposed to
That's
go public
dope.
soon.
That's a great investment.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting because they're supposed to go public soon, and I'm like waiting for it. But like, once it does go public, I gotta be like, all right, what the fuck? What I do now with this shit?
So you got to decide you stay for the ride,
right? Or do I cash out?
Cash out. And some people would do both, right? They'll sell a little bit, keep the rest. I think, that's going to be interesting. I'll be curious to see what you do with that because Impossible has a chance to do really, really well.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it'll all depend on how much I'm going to be able to cash out right away. If it looks crazy, I'll be like, give me my money, man.
Usually they make you wait even
crazy.
I know. Okay,
Rick is going to be sitting there like,
take some gains, bro. Take some gains.
Yeah, I know. All right.
But I ain't going to lie to you. The reason why I was able to kind of get into this whole thing too, because when I was working at Apple for so long, they kept giving me equity or in this case RSUs. So I was at Apple when the company was valued at $20 a share. So I mean, it's crazy where it's at now, and the splits because it's grown splits several times. So,
oh man, we all are super busy nowadays, right? It's busy times. You got back-to-back meetings, errands to run, and chores to take care of. What's the secret to clearing your to-do list? A little help from Doordash, guys. You can get dinner, household essentials, and everything on your grocery list delivered. Wow, now that's just great, okay? It's lit. You can get whatever you want right now and right to your door with Doordash, whatever you're in the mood for. Along with the restaurants you love, you can now get groceries and other essential items delivered with Doordash. Get drinks, snacks, and other household items in under an hour. Like I've told the story before, I have Doordashed floss, Doordashed a toothbrush. I've Doordashed, I think the other night I was just in the mood for literally some Raisinets.
No, I thought you were going to say Listerine. You had a little tinto theme going.
I was going to say I had to DoorDash razors and lotion when Tim forgot to bring them for me.
I be forgetting stuff a lot of the times, okay? With over 300,000 partners, you can support your neighborhood go-tos or choose from your favorite national restaurants like Popeyes, Chipotle, and the Cheesecake Factory. Yeah. Ordering is easy, and your items will be left safely outside your door when you choose contactless delivery drop-off, which I do all the time. I don't want to see you. I don't want to touch you. For a limited time, our listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code NOCHASER. Okay, that's 25% off up to $10 value and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code
NOCHASER.
Don't forget, that's code
NOCHASER.
25% off your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change, terms apply.
Bombas' mission is simple: to make the most comfortable clothes ever and match every item sold with an equal item donated. So this holiday season, when you gift Bombas to someone on your list, you'll also be giving it to someone in need. It's a give-give. So Bombas designs their socks, shirts, and underwears to be the most comfortable clothes that you put on every day. Pretty much they make it to where, you're wearing this right now, but you want to get into your Bombas right away. Everything they make is soft, seamless, tangleless, and they have a luxurious, cozy feel to them. Again, as soon as you take off your regular clothes, you're going to want to get into this right away. Bombas are the comfiest gifts for everyone on your list, and thanks to their festive boxes, you don't have to wrap them at all, so it makes it really easy for you to give everybody something cute and comfortable this holiday season. So go to bombas.com/nochaser to get 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/nochaser for 20% off. That's bombas.com/nochaser.
You know what's crazy? One time when I was at a car dealership or something like that, and I was talking to one of the dudes that was just helping me, with the paperwork and all that. And he was telling me, he was like, yeah, this was a long time ago. He was like, my daughter, she's doing pretty well for herself now because one day she was like, you know what, Dad, I think I'm gonna quit my job because I'm gonna work with this new company. It's called Google.
Oh, wow.
I'm taking a job working at this startup. It's called Google. I got a good feeling about it. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
My homegirl worked at Tesla. Actually,
Okay,
a lot
that's
of people I know
another
work at Tesla.
Yeah.
And the position that she's in, she gets
RSUs,
Yeah.
yep. Mhm.
And so I get a text message almost weekly because we're watching the markets.
Yep.
I'm more into crypto. She's
Okay.
more into stocks.
Okay.
So we kind of go back and forth
That's
with
good.
information. And she hit me with the text. She said, girl, like that, girl.
I'm about to quit.
She's like,
Yeah.
but they have rules on. They
Yeah,
have rules
you
on
have
their
to hold it.
side.
You have to hold it for
the
periods of
whole
time.
all these rules, right? But she's like, we hit 7 today.
Mhm.
Was for her is she just hit
Huge.
7 figures.
Yeah.
She's because of how much she has. Because she was starting to take her checks and get stock
Yes.
instead.
Yeah.
So you can convert
Yeah.
that way. So
you get
she
two
was,
ways, right? So she's probably being granted what they call RSUs, but then when you're in the company, also lets you do stock purchase plan too, so you can take from your paycheck and be like, yo, I'm just want to buy
More
They
stock.
get you a certain percentage of your check. They'll let you take to buy and keep buying. So I was doing the same thing at
Yeah.
Apple.
That's
I was
fire.
getting
Ooh,
RSUs
yeah.
for like my performance and some things for that. But I was also like, I was single and then I am whatever. So I'm
Yeah.
just buying shit up, right, and just stacking. And yeah, that's the way. That's the way. That is awesome.
Do you feel like a lot of companies are now providing that option?
Yeah.
Because people are becoming more aware of it?
Oh,
or do you
yeah.
think that's something that's always been available?
It's always been there, but I think they're just making it available to more people in what I would say less, executive positions, right? Because it was always on the executive levels of the company. Now I think they're just putting it on every level, especially the technology companies.
Right.
Because it's so competitive to keep an employee. You gotta like give them all these incentives, and the best one is the financial. Because everybody got, you take this vacation, whatever. But I don't give a shit about that. I want the money, right? So with that, that's the big one. And I would say that when you look at it, at this point, that is the main reason why people are kind of wanting to get into tech spaces, right? Even if you're working in marketing, wherever you are, you like, yo, I want to go work for a tech company because it's that upside.
Did y'all see that Spanx shit?
Oh, how she gave everybody tickets
Yes.
to wherever.
That was
Yes.
great.
She's dope.
Spanx.
Yeah.
She's
Bro.
dope. She's dope.
Wow.
And they're headquartered in Atlanta. I've met her several times. Her story is as a phenomenal woman, man.
Is
She
it?
literally built that on her bare hands. She didn't know a lot about the material. She actually was going to Georgia Tech on her own, doing this old research and talking to, PhDs, and she literally built that thing bare
Damn.
hands.
Amazing.
She's a dope woman, super dope woman.
That is crazy. All because girls got some love handles they're worried about.
Man.
Yeah, but it's but
I'm gonna
I
make
think
ganks.
but women are the best target audience, bro, for when it comes to anything. I don't care what if you can get to where women want it.
Because
Women
the
be
media
shopping.
has made them feel ugly their whole lives, so all you gotta figure out.
No, that's one. But really, women control the buying decisions in the household.
No, that's facts. No, totally.
So
Well,
your
shit, man.
your girl tells you what to buy.
Yeah.
He was like,
yeah, he fell in line with that one. But
True.
I just bought shoes until I ran out of room to buy shoes, and now I'm like, all right, man,
I don't need nothing else.
we got it. What?
you're just walking around in just shoes.
Yeah, but not even. I'm walking around in these shit.
That's true.
I was gonna say, the last thing, from my perspective on it, is like when you look at the tech space, and like you mentioned, crypto, you're looking like those companies have like high multiples. But when you go into, unfortunately, where we are, more entertainment, the multiples are a lot lower, right? Because you can't scale content and
Right.
get as much win on that as you can a piece of software, technology, Tesla. Like those companies can get vast.
I have a question.
Sure.
With NFTs becoming more mainstream,
Yeah.
and especially in the content creating space, because you can now monetize off of these different tokens,
Yes.
or
Yes.
like that.
You're right.
What is All Def planning on doing with NFTs?
Wow, she went.
I want to
I like
know.
it. No, I like it.
mean-
No, that's a great question. So let me add one piece before I answer that. I'm gonna answer in two things at once. So when we took over All Def, the thing that I felt like, and my co-founder, was that we needed to get wider, right? When with the content itself, right? Because All Def was really mainly only known for comedy, and we had some music, we were doing, right? And but then they did start the inkling of the poetry. So we had the, comedy, music, and poetry. So when we took over, now we have decided like we really need to have a network of channels, right? So now it's more All Def Gaming, All Def Women, which is actually starting in Cynthia. That's her. She's
Yeah,
the
we'll
creative
bring her in and
director.
talk
We'll bring her to talk about that. There's All Def Latino we just launched. We launched those two this year, Women and Latino. Then there's also All Def Nation, which is getting more into conscious, like woke news. And there's a lot of other verticals I want to get into. Like, I know, Nikki, you're big into food. I'm sitting on All Def Eats. I want to get into travel. I want to do all these verticals. And the reason why is because with the diversity of content, right, now I can work and work with different brands, right? And then with working with different brands, I'll put them on these different formats. So then that brings me to Nikki's question, which is, from our perspective, I think there are formats that we have, as an example, like dad jokes, that could be NFT friendly, right? and that we could really kind of tokenize and do some things with. So we are definitely exploring it. My co-founder, Sean, actually, he also has a second company that's big into, it's called, what was it? ICO Watchdog, which so his first was in the beginning when ICOs for all of the crypto, and he's super, super big into that. So we are definitely exploring, but I don't have the exact thing that we're gonna do. I kind of tipped my hand a little bit on the dad jokes, but I think there's some other things we could do. But the way we're gonna do it, just to be clear, is we got our channels, we got formats in every channel, and I think there's some opportunities with some of the formats to think about what we could do, turn and tokenize them.
Tight. Dope. Well, shit. Well, I mean, what a perfect segue to bring in Cynthia to talk about all deaf women's.
When you said wider, I thought you said whiter.
I knew that's what you thought because he made that squinty face.
No. WIDER.
You said a couple of more words, and I was like, wider.
I watched Rick's face change from, did he just say?
All right, well, thanks, man. Thanks for pulling up and giving us some perspective.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Yes.
Appreciate you, man.
Hello.
All right, so this young lady I've known for so long. Rick's known her longer than me. She's funny. She's cute. She got little cat ears on,
right.
And she's running all deaf women's. So let's talk about all the things. Let's talk about the
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We retired the headphones.
First of all, let's talk about this. How you been, man?
I've been good. Rick, you got your knees out. What
I got my
happened since
knees
the last
out.
time I seen
Bruh,
you?
I think we had the conversation where I said I would never have my knees
Yeah.
out.
Really?
And the office is a breakdown.
Yes.
And here
Rick,
I am,
yes.
knees out.
Very anti everything that's going on with the world. I'm gonna object to it. How you got your knees out?
Hey, look, I conformed.
ASAP Ricky. Okay. Yeah. What's up, y'all?
There was a time in my life where I said, look, I would never rock no skinny jeans. I would
Really?
never wear a small shirt. I'll never have my elbows out. And then one day, everything just changed.
Only
And
thing
now
I stayed
you out
true
in
to
house
was I'll never
shoes.
lose weight.
You said,
It's the only thing I stayed true to.
you never lose weight?
Never do that shit. You ever have me sell out?
Man.
Cynthia's also, I think people don't remember or they don't realize you're a super talented comedic writer as well.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they
Yeah.
might see you acting a fool on Instagram. They know
Right.
you're a funny girl,
Yeah.
but you can write.
Yeah. And you know the thing about Instagram and kind of like doing. Can I cuss? I don't want to
Yes.
cuss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck no.
Let me know, because I'm like, you know,
Instagram.
yeah, that's why shit. But no, the thing about doing like Instagram shit is like you put ideas out, and yeah, they're kind of monetized now, but you really want to get your money's worth. And so it's like a lot of times people aren't, at least for myself, I'm not putting out my best ideas on Instagram. I'm saving them, I'm drafting them, I'm putting them into scripts, you know.
Right.
But then it's hard too, because a lot of times people look at people who get any type of viral clout or whatever as that's all you do.
Mhm.
So you be like, damn, you be wanting to flex, but then you be like, I'm not trying to flex for free, and somebody take it. It's hard.
Yeah. No, I definitely got a bunch of solid either jokes or scenarios that I wanna do something with, but I'm like, no, I gotta save this for the script. I gotta save this for the
Something good.
script.
Yeah.
Ugh. A bunch of shit that Rick said in screenshots that I saved for scripts too.
I got my lawsuits ready.
But that's a good friend. Like, those are the type of friends you need in the industry when you like talk naturally in conversation and they're like, that's a good idea. Write that down. Because sometimes you're around people and you say good shit and then they just.
They're like, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna write that shit
Right.
down.
Or they don't even tell
that's
you.
what he's doing. It's funny things I said. He's like, I'm gonna put that on the script.
Yeah.
Screenshot.
Wow, Tim is really sounding like Rick these
Well, I'd be
days.
like, man, that's funny. I'm gonna put that in a script. Or we'll have an idea, or like Rick will have a funny idea. Like, there's one idea that's great for just a sketch, and I'm like, hey man, are you ever gonna do that? Because if not, I'm doing that shit.
Sitting on it waiting.
That's facts. That's facts. I've done that before too. I'm like, you want to direct it or what? Like,
That's funny.
you know.
You know, I think my first ever sex scene in a skit, Cynthia directed it. For
With
that
Lulu?
werewolf. What?
Oh my god.
How did that work out for you?
Yeah, I
It
wasn't
was
actually.
with Lulu. She was the werewolf.
Yeah.
That's like a student film type of sketch. You know, like when you're first starting out and shit, and then you look back, like it's like your mixtape days. Like, damn, I can rap way better now. But you know, Tim and Lulu made the sketch good, but it was definitely some weird shit. I was trying to be creative.
No, I liked it.
Yeah.
It's funny. I ran into Lulu the other day, and she was like, I was like, man, I ain't seen you. She's like, since we had sex.
Casually in front of Chia. She's like, oh.
It was a whole weird Halloween like series, and yeah, he had sex with a werewolf. You know,
Yeah, no, it was
good for
great.
you.
It was great.
funny.
It was crazy. It was hair all over except her bush. Bush was completely waxed.
That's the only.
still got a wax. That's a werewolf. Still got a wax.
All right, so yeah, we talking about business and shit. How does it come about that you go from being a funny comedic writer girl,
Right.
to now being okay? So what part are you playing here at All Deaf Women's?
Well, you know, like before when I was doing All Deaf, you know, I was like writing and kind of producing and doing different things. But I'm trying to sound as smart as Cedric has said it before because he was like saying all these big words and shit.
Don't worry.
And so
it's
now
okay.
I'm like, the projective of the
No, it's cool. I
climate.
tuned out when he was talking.
I was like, I can't. But no, I mean, I think before at All Deaf, you know, it was a lot of creative people kind of running it, but I don't think the business side of it kind of was where it needed to be. Like I remember them kind of putting somebody in charge of the sketch department, and it was a guy, and I went to the head and I was like, yo, my resume says that you should have given the position to me. So if you think I'm going to answer to this person and submit my ideas to them, you got me fucked up. Like, I'm not about to do that. So then they're like, all right, well, everybody submit their sketch ideas to him except for Cynthia. And I'm like, y'all got some bullshit. Like, you know, but I've always, from the Kellys to even, you know, the Halloween series, it was always so women's voice, being an equalizer, having that, like, point of view where I could talk my shit as a woman, because guys get to talk their shit all the time. And so it was at a point at All Deaf before when I left, I literally told the people who was in charge, like, look, y'all is how I am right now, y'all young bitch. And you need to figure out what you want in life. And hopefully some point down the line we'll come back together. And then like 4 or 5 years later, you know, shout out to Culture Genesis and Cedric and Sean and everybody. They bought them and they was working with them. And then when I reconnected with them and I saw who was in charge of it now, I was like, I'm gonna fuck with that.
So they needed their whole stage and just to grow up a little bit.
They went through their whole phase.
Got it.
Yes.
That's a good way to put it.
That's exactly what it was. And now they're like, you know what? I kind of know what I want in life and shit.
And you were like, it was kind of good when I was there.
Right. Like,
You're
you know.
maybe you really have changed.
Right.
One of the D's was good. the
not all the
digital
Ds,
part. It wasn't all deaf.
It's like, okay, maybe. We'll see how this goes.
It's exactly what it was. Like that ex that you would give another shot to.
You're like, fine.
yeah, like
Just all you had to do was be nice.
That's funny.
That's dope.
But-
You feel like you've dealt with it. My bad. What you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, if anybody is sleeping on her resume, I met you at 19. You were 19.
Yeah, 19
and she was a
20, yeah.
producer.
See,
and
was
a show
19
creator.
on Breakdown?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. She's already the
Okay.
producer and the creator. You created Red Hot, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did.
The little candies?
No.
Yes.
I wish.
We old as hell.
Since the 40s making candy. But yeah, Buno Murray definitely were the ones who showed me like producing was a part of the digital wave. And that's where I had met, you know, you guys at and learning that. And you guys are one of the first people who were really legitimizing. There you go. Shout out Cedric, big ass word, right? Legitimizing the digital world. Like, you know, because before I had started breakdowning at Buno Murray, I really thought the internet was just like
Just a
cat
phase.
videos,
Yeah,
fight
yeah.
compilations, music
Right.
videos. That's what I was watching.
Porn.
And you, okay, yeah, you know they would say, but yeah. And you guys are like one of the first people that I really watched and connected to. Like, oh damn, this is content that I will watch. That it's like real
Thank
shit.
you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Maker Studios, rest in peace. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, because I definitely, you know, before that, I was trying to do sketches, but it was all like just me and my camcorder. You know what I'm saying? Not even tripod. I'd be like, all right, Rick, I'm gonna talk. You hold the camera. Rick's gonna talk. I'll hold the camera. That type of
Yeah.
shit, right? And then like, shout out to Maker for being the first company that was like that really gave me the creative space where it was like, Yeah, they were taking some of my money, but I could do whatever the fuck I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I could write a super outlandish sketch. They come at me. They had sets for me, costumes and shit. Where I feel like I can take this to a level where I wanted it to be. You know, where I'm like, where it did feel legitimized, where I wasn't just goofing around with a little flip camera. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's dope that you've been able to do what you wanted to do. Take it next level, because I remember, you know, just seeing the shit you wrote and seeing the shit you guys were producing and being like, man, this is good stuff.
Yeah. And I think for a while, like, my mindset, especially before working with All Def, was so like, how can we take this and get to TV? Because how can we this? And then just even within the 4 to 5 years, it's been like, well, you look at the TV bag, you look at the digital bag, like low key, you can kind of, and even the audience that they get on some of your favorite shows online, they're not getting that audience that they're getting on viral videos and just the streaming outlets like Hulu or Amazon or Netflix. So even on the calls that we have with the ad teams and stuff, I'm really like, man, we can create content that we love and then sell it, but it's not that, I call it an ice cube tray that the industry wants you to be in. Like, I don't want to be in that. And my favorite thing about All Def, and shout out to All Def Women, specifically with working with a whole bunch of different women, it's just giving them a voice and a platform to do what they want. And when I'm producing and making content and stuff, I let people do it. I give them little guidance of things that I know that we have to hit to make sure that, you know, it's this type of quality, these dimensions, da-da-da. But for the most part, I want people to be able to create shit. And I think we'll start to see a big change in the industry when more people who are creators start to get behind the scenes and be in those positions of power to handle. Because we understand other creators more. Yeah. You know?
Let me ask you this, since I know Nikki Blaze goes through this because, you know, she's an attractive woman out here. You're an attractive woman out here in these streets. Do you feel like people wouldn't take you seriously because you were cute? You know what I'm saying? You had a sketch idea or you'd be writing something and they'd be like, cool, that's, you know, it's whatever.
Yeah, at first, for sure, that's what it is. You know, it's like, it's either like, oh, people want to fuck you, you know, or they get mad because you don't want to fuck, or it's just like, you got to see where people are coming from. So it's kind of weird. I definitely haven't had the pleasure of being able to answer to a lot of women, you know, so I know that, and especially a lot of women I have run into, kind of, they'll be haters and shit, and I'm sure you've run into a lot like that, where it's like, damn, like, you know,
I thought we was on the same team.
Yeah, like, what are you mad
just because we all have the same parts don't mean we on the same team. This, you learn that in this industry. Well, just in general.
Yeah. But you think like, damn. But I feel like, shit, I'm sorry, because I'm trying to dance around the question and I'll be like, niggas ain't shit when they be in control. You know, I'm really trying to be like, bro, like, how do I make this nice? And I'll be like,
you're like, you know how I talk.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay.
They need that because they get the adverse over here.
Yeah, I think it's really fucked up, the short end of the stick that women get in the industry. And I always had an idea of a sorority, especially within the comedy community, that I could create. And then one of the first couple women that I tried to create it with, I found out was fucking my ex and I didn't know. And I was like, this is why bitches don't get along. You know, so it's like, it is hard to build that. But I feel like, especially in the comedy community and even in the creator community, there's a fraternity of men, and men stick together and they fuck these hoes and they pass these hoes around and bitches look good and they just this and that. And mind you, a lot of the views and shit they get is because the beautiful women are on the thumbnails. The beautiful women are sitting there with you. And for a lot of the shit that I was in, I'm giving the niggas jokes, you know, and they thinking they wrote my jokes and I'm like, bro, I'm giving them jokes.
We all play our parts sometimes.
So, yes.
We all play our parts sometimes.
She be talking. We be listening sometimes.
It is kind of hard.
My cleavage be out sometimes.
Look, we've got him showing knees now. It's a part of our deal.
Look at equality. This is equality right here, y'all. Look at that.
Growing. So with All Def Women, what is your main goal? I understand getting women involved and putting them in positions to create and almost have a safe space, but overall, what is your main mission with All Def Women?
I think my main mission is just like being an outlet, being a plug. It's like so many women have ideas that haven't been heard. So many women have connections and resources and like crews that will film content for them, and they can actually produce and hand in their own content. And it's just like encouraging the shit that I know is inside of me. It's like giving that to other women to be like, here, you know, people, you can create, you can produce, you can make your own stuff. Like, let's do it over here. So it's really just giving them the resources and the things to do it.
And do you feel like if more companies start creating women divisions, that it's going to force these other companies to start realizing how important it is for the women they have already?
Facts. No shade, no tea. But since we started, I done seen some people try to get their lives together, you know, with the women's side of their content. I done seen them start to focus on like, oh, okay, shit, they coming together. It's a whole squad of women. And I've seen people who I know are following us start to be like, we have to do that. So it's the same with Fenty Beauty. Like when she started doing all the shades of makeup, even though she was a newcomer in the beauty industry, all the other mainstay beauty products had to start doing the shades.
And everyone that didn't got called out for not doing it.
Facts.
No Chaser Women is launching next month. It's gonna be Nikki Blades.
Hey, I'm not ready yet. I'm not
no
trying
niggas.
to get,
No niggas is what it's called.
No chaser, no niggas.
It's like, I'm not ready to give away other opportunities. I'm still trying to get mine.
Oh, I'm still selfish. I'm still selfish.
Hold on, wait. Stop trying to get rid of me. We get other people on. I'm like, do I still got a job?
You will be chair one.
Yeah.
Chair one.
I be texting them sometimes like, y'all ain't gonna get rid of me, right? Like,
No Chaser Women is gonna be Nikki Blades and 2 other guys.
Oh, makes sense.
Deep. That's deep.
I can't stand you.
But Tim and Rick, I do have a question though, as guys and creators, because you guys really are like OGs of like y'all are real too. You really understand the industry, because sometimes you meet influencers and they be like, okay, you're in your own world, but y'all are real as fuck.
Facts.
So facts, want it. So did y'all ever have a time in your experience where you realized, damn, maybe I do treat women different? Or like, did you have that aha moment of like, oh shit, and you understood the plight of women in the industry? If not, you ain't shit, but go ahead.
Okay, so when we were doing it, there was not a lot of women who had more to bring to the table than what they look like. They existed, and we would reach out to them and they were like, I'm not really interested in that. So a lot of the girls early on were the girls who were just like, oh, I bought this new bikini. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So we just kind of was like, dope, let's do that. But anytime where I worked with a girl and then I saw she was funny, I'm like, oh, all right, lines, hold on. I'm gonna go right for you. You know what I'm saying? And then later, there was a lot of girls who I would just watch them and like, okay, I can write for her. And I would write stuff specifically for their voice. So, but early on, it was definitely like, you got a big butt? You don't mind being in the bikini?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, in the beginning, for sure, like, I was writing sketches that, you know, I felt like were certain, I was trying to get off a certain type of joke, you feel me? And it was like, it wasn't necessarily parts that were not even, it wasn't the fact that there weren't parts for girls. There really weren't no parts for anyone else except for maybe me and Rick. You know what I'm saying? Everyone else was kind of just there to support me and Rick's jokes, right? Or our banter. And a lot of the shit we wrote about was like relationships, sexual situations. And, so it was like, I need to find a girl who doesn't mind playing this part, right? And those would be the ones that their main shit was, I'm attractive, this is what I do. You feel me? But like Rick said, the more we did it, the more I'd be like, oh, you're funny. And there was definitely like a tier of different girls I would hit up. Like if I need a girl to be funny and deliver lines like with timing and do some improv, it was like, I would hit up like Bobby Dean or you know what I'm saying? Like just whoever else was, I'm like, okay, you're funny. This is good. I feel more comfortable writing more lines and writing comedy shit, you know what I'm saying? And definitely like, I think not even recently, just years ago, me and Rick were like, all right, I think we're cool on the just have a girl in a bikini just to have her in a bikini shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what else we can do.
Let's write a beach skit so it makes sense.
Because that shit don't even work on YouTube anymore. I feel like people are like, or it'll work on Instagram.
On Instagram,
yeah.
But it's weak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I got to the point where I started realizing like, I know I'm funny, but why are people watching? You know what I'm saying? If all the comments are a timestamp where it's a butt, and nobody's saying anything about the hilarious joke behind the butt, I'm like,
behind the butt.
do not really do this. And then, I got into just talking, and then it was like, oh, I need a girl to argue with. Hey, Cynthia, what you doing? You like to argue.
Naturally,
I definitely, I'll smash some more werewolf songs on camera though if you want. Let me know. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad it's happening because I think, from race to gender to sexual orientation, there's so many people, who nowadays are getting their just due and are getting a platform to say different things. So I've appreciated seeing guys' growth within the industry and really welcoming different types of women. Because sometimes, you could get on camera with dudes and they feel a little insecure if you're funnier than them, and that's happened. And you'd be like, damn, yeah.
Like,
so
I thought you was funny, dog.
Yeah.
Be funny.
And then it's like, then the stereotype continues of like, women aren't funny. And it's like, well, some funny guys are threatened by funny women. So
it's really about creating the alliances with people that get it. I would say working with these guys right here, they know what's okay and what's not okay. I have certain things that I'm like, all right, this is how I'm feeling today. We can go through this, and this. And if not, they created a safe space. And that's a big thing too when you're working with people from different backgrounds. Again, no matter what your orientation is, it really stems from how comfortable can you make this environment and how professional. In the entertainment space, professionalism gets blurred a lot because you're being creative. And a lot of creative people don't like the restraint of the professional, being professional. And you being in charge now, being able to see how you've been treated and how others have been treated. What's something that you really want to implement with all deaf women so that you can start to see these cycles break and change, and then also creating a connection with men as well?
That's interesting. I think the biggest thing for me is like with all the women, I get down to like the numbers. I want, I just want it to grow so that way we can really prove that women are not only just consumers, but actually talented and worth investing in. So I'm excited to see within the next year even how our budgets grow for our shows, how our brand deals come in line, and really being able to break off for the other women who are talent. You give them a budget, like, let's see what you can do with it. I really want to get those numbers because they're like, men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Exactly.
So I'm just like, if we can put the points on the board, if we can show that, we bring in a big part to the company and we're bringing in as much sponsorships as the main All Deaf channel, as all the other sub channels, like, then we get to walk in a room with our shoulders high, like, we All Deaf women, what's up? Look at our numbers. Look at check the stats. They're there. So I think that's the most important thing for me, is just really proving like we can get the numbers.
Yeah, and that business side, because being funny can only get you so far.
Facts.
And then when you walk into the room, if you don't have, like, by the way, I was able to take this funny woman and go and build her up to this.
Yes.
Now pay us.
Yeah. At the end of the day, everything gets in a pitch deck with them numbers.
Exactly.
What are them numbers?
Also, men don't lie, so I don't know where you got that.
And the men don't get caught as much as lying.
Boys lie.
There we go.
I hate when people do that shit.
There's the difference.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Just a couple letters.
Oh, well, shit. What do we have to look forward to from you, Cynthia?
I think I'm excited to just, to keep making content for sure with All Deaf women. I'm getting back in my writer's bag, like I said, saving those ideas and really getting them written into TV scripts or just full length scripts. The sketches and the certain things I see that go beyond that. But yeah, I want to be on my like Shonda Rhimes shit, my Ryan Seacrest event. Like when I seen Ryan Seacrest is producing Shahs of Sunset and getting a bag, I'm like, who would have thought,
It been producing
Bruh.
bad shit.
God.
Everything.
Yeah.
You remember that time we got on TV and then we got fired and then we didn't know we got fired until the next season?
Yeah.
There was other people on there.
Because they came to the internet show we was doing and they was like, we want a younger demographic. So they hired us. And then the first like 4 episodes, they like, nobody's watching because we have an older demographic. We want to make the show older.
Damn.
So then they started hiring all these older people to be on the show. And we was like, so what are we here for?
And
like,
they told us, we're going to take a brief hiatus.
Damn.
And then the show came back
Damn.
and we never
The
got off the
hiatus
hiatus.
from
It was like,
you.
oh, okay.
yeah.
Remember when you unfollowed me on Instagram and I banged on you when we was on set for that Kevin Hart skit?
I unfollow everybody though at that point in time.
No, it's true. She had one of those things where she unfollows everybody but like 80 people. But I remember I was on Instagram one day. I was like, Cynthia unfollowed.
Hilarious.
Did you unfollow back?
Probably. and then we were on set for this Kevin Hart sketch for fucking Laugh Out Loud. And I was like, Cynthia, why you won't follow me?
Like, I be having mental breakdowns and shit. I don't know. I don't remember. Like,
You probably said some dumb shit that day.
But now I know when I look at other people and it's like they're following 0 people, I'm like, I know what the fuck they going through. Like, you'll get through it, girl. You gonna be okay.
You got
Oh,
it.
my
You start
God.
deleting
Sometimes
photos.
you
Why
be
you got
feeling-
7 pictures?
I know, right?
We understand what you're deleting.
Oh my God.
And only swimsuit pictures now. It's okay, baby. You'll get through
Women,
it.
man, that's why I don't put them no videos.
Okay. What piece of advice can you give our female followers right now that can help them in the industry?
That are trying to come up in the
Yeah.
industry.
What's
On some real shit, I would say like, don't fuck nobody.
That's
Fuck
a
with
good
everybody.
first tip.
You know, like don't fuck nobody, but fuck with everybody. Don't get involved in beefs that don't have nothing to do with you.
Ooh,
And you know, sometimes men or women, whoever might have a problem with you. If it ain't worth solving, fuck it, keep going.
There you
And
go.
it's just like you gotta really believe in you because you'll hit these levels and you think this next level is something. And then you know, get on the wall and out set and it's like, damn, this shit is real life work. This is this is that. What the fuck is next? You know, so if you believe in you, no matter what show you're doing, no matter what company you're working with, no matter what, like you know that you're good. But yeah.
Bars.
Love
Bars.
it.
All right, man. Shout out to Cynthia for coming through. Shout out to Seth for coming through. Shout out to everybody for listening and watching. Thank you for watching another episode of No Chaser. I'm Tim Chantarangsu.
I'm Ricky Shep.
I'm Nikki Blades.
Bye.
Yay.